Child Christina here, and it is 63 degrees in my apartment, so excuse me while I huddle under my blanket. Hello everyone, real quick, wanted to interrupt the video for just a second to say please subscribe. My analytics tell me about 50% of you aren't subscribed, so please go ahead and do that. I'm a growing channel and every subscriber really makes a huge impact, so thank you and please enjoy the video. Alrighty. So this week we're doing something that I talked about last week. It's very similar to last week's video. I put together a design for Haunted Hollows Scream Park, and this one had some pretty specific instructions as to exactly what needed to be in the design and how it needed to be executed. So I had a lot less creative freedom with this one, but essentially it's called the Executioner because that's what the skull-faced figure is called. That's his character name. And then he is pulling the switch on an electric chair with another one of the Haunt's iconic characters in the chair. And then the Scream Park's logo goes on the bottom. And my client specifically asked for the phrase "fry and die" that goes with the electric chair. I put this together in my sketchbook first, and then I had to draw in the secondary character. So when I got it into the computer, I just drew him out in blue, and then I was able to add him into the line work as I got started on that. This piece really doesn't have a lot of differences from the last one, especially in technique and how I made it happen, so if you missed that video, you might want to go check it out. But otherwise, it was just a lot of trial and error and getting client feedback to really fill in the space and all that good stuff. Just like the last one, this design isn't entirely finished, but it's very close, so I figured I would share it with everybody. Since there isn't a whole lot to talk about as far as this design, I thought maybe I would talk about my haunted attraction experience and kind of why I love haunted attractions so much. So I went to my first haunted attraction back in 2015, I think, maybe 2014, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I have been a big fan of immersive experiences where people basically create an environment. So for haunted houses, that's a scary environment. But for instance, there's this place down in Wisconsin Dells called Wizard Quest, and that one is fantasy themed. I've always been a fan of attractions like that. When I went to my first professional haunted house, I really fell in love. And it was actually Wisconsin Scaryland that I went to, and it was just a crazy experience for me. It was very overwhelming as far as my anxiety goes, but in a very positive way. And that's why I really enjoyed it. The really cool thing about Wisconsin Scaryland is that the owner has been in a lot of different industries, and he specifically used to be a deodorant or fragrance salesman, and so he kind of brought that into the haunted attraction. So when we walked into the scary nursery, it smelled like animal crackers, and little touches like that really blew my mind, and I really became a fangirl of the haunted attraction, specifically Wisconsin Scaryland, for a while. And then when I got into college, I knew that I wanted to go into immersive experiences like haunted houses. I actually ended up finding a home with a haunt called Dimension of Horrors in 2018. It was something that I got started with kind of by accident. I saw that they were really advertising to find actors, but I messaged them and I said, you know, I'm not really an actor, but I could help build, I could help do props. I'd really like to see what you're doing and see what I can help out with. And so I hopped on board the team and I ended up putting a lot of hours into that haunt. Unfortunately, because of location, that haunt ended up not doing so well, but our reviews were absolutely amazing. And the whole experience, I ended up basically building, doing props, doing finishes for rooms, so like painting walls and doing all of that good stuff, cobwebs and ceilings and all sorts of good stuff, all the way to acting by the end and doing wardrobe and all sorts of weird odds and ends jobs in that haunt that I really did enjoy. I really still want to go into the haunted attraction industry. I just haven't really had ample opportunities, if that makes sense, especially with COVID. The haunted attraction industry has had to pivot and get creative and all of that good stuff in order to stay in business. So I just haven't really had opportunities to bust out of my shell and do haunted attraction thing. And there really aren't any haunts in my area either, which doesn't help. But yeah, that haunt was really my first haunt that I was involved with. I've been involved with a couple of others where I've done odds and ends jobs, but I haven't really committed myself to any haunts since then. And that's why I had actually launched a haunted attraction t-shirt business. That's what Unfinished Business originally was. You know, I thought I was gonna dip my toes into the haunted attraction industry, but after going to one of the industry trade shows, I realized that I was not the first one to come up with haunted attraction t-shirts and designs, and so the market for that was kind of saturated already, and I still gave it a go, but I was also still in school, so that adventure wasn't as successful as I had hoped it would be, but we have pivoted successfully into drawing things, and I'm really happy that I get to still do spooky designs and I still get to have a little bit of contact with the haunted attraction industry because it's not something that I've totally left in the dust. Really happy that I got to do all of these designs this year, and I'm hopeful that this will kind of help me stay grounded with the haunted attraction industry, which is really my big passion at the end of the day. And that more or less sums up my haunted attraction experience and kind of where I'm coming from with doing all of these designs. If you like content like this, please subscribe and give the video a little bit of love. Thank you so much to my patrons. I haven't shouted them out in a little bit, but Mark, Liam, and Nathaniel, thank you so much for your support. You really helped me to be able to upgrade my space and my equipment and make art something that I can feasibly do financially. So thank you so much for your support. And if you out there have any friends or family that might enjoy content like this, please share me with them. Thank you so much for getting this far in the video. I will give you a full 1,000 experience points just for that. It really does mean a lot, considering the YouTube algorithm really takes into account how far people get into your video. The fact that you got to the end is stellar. Next week we'll be doing a drawing that I did for my little brother that is sci-fi themed, kind of like Fallout a little bit, and I'll talk more about that next week. And I will see you guys next Friday. Peace.